The secret to the universe. The secret to the universe is inside of the molecules. So, most people might not understand that your DNA is just molecules connected to each other to form the double helix DNA strand. So, different molecules attach to each other and form that strand, right? Your DNA is molecules. We all know that DNA holds information. Your DNA is the reason why your skin tone is the way it is, the reason why your eyes is the color it is, the reason why your hair is the way it is. Um, but there's also epigenetics, which says that your ancestors, like if your ancestors ate a certain food, it affects your DNA, and your DNA would be better off eating that type of food that your ancestors ate, or like, um, I guess you can say like native DNA. There's more of a sense to native culture, even if you don't know about native culture. African DNA. The reason why black people tend to act differently than white people, this has a lot to do with the memory of our DNA, as well as the way we're raised in our family and in our environment. Now, if our DNA holds memory, that means molecules hold memory. The key to the universe and the answers to everything in history is inside of the molecules. It's inside of what some would see. This is why I don't believe in the word drug. Right? Drug is not a real thing. It's a made-up word designed to distract you from what the fuck's really going on. Because drug is a fucked up term. Because Advil is a drug, but realistically, drugs are certain molecules. But excuse me, why is vitamin C not considered a drug? Why? Because it doesn't have a psychoactive effect. But vitamin C is similarly shaped to muscimol and stachydrin. Why is it that serotonin and melatonin are not considered drugs, but DMT and psilocin, which is the molecule in psychedelic mushrooms, why are those considered drugs? Even though they're shaped the exact same and attached to similar receptors. Drug is a made-up term. See, I genuinely believe that everything we know comes from the molecules because shamans learned from the plants. Scientists, doctors, religion, and all that comes from shamans. If shamans originally learned from the plants, then literally that means that all knowledge comes from the plants, and the plants contain the knowledge because the molecules inside of the plants, they're molecules, and molecules hold information. Just like our DNA is molecules and it holds information, the plants contain molecules, and those molecules also hold information. And information can mean a lot of things. Plants speak, but they don't speak in the same way we speak. Sometimes they do. Some plants, like psychedelic mushrooms or ayahuasca or sometimes DMT, sometimes these things speak to you in English. But a lot of times, especially when like DMT speaks in English rarely, but most of the time it speaks with visions. Plants tend to speak to you in visions and knowings and understandings and ideas and feelings, and it's a different form of communication, but it communicates and gives you its knowledge. I once made a video talking about what a high is, and I believe that a high is the plant is allowing you to feel how it feels and see the world through its eyes and its way of being, right? Like, if you're high off of weed, you're kind of relaxed, your eyes are low, but yet you're thinking, yet your mind is deeper and it's slightly expanded, and that is the way the cannabis plant is. So it's allowing you to be what it is. Because you contain molecules on your own. Like, you as a human being are a walking, talking plant because you come from the planet just like a plant does. You contain molecules that run you just like a plant does. Your molecules in your body are serotonin, melatonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, oxytocin. Like, oxytocin is the love molecule, right? It's the reason why you feel love when you're in love. But does that mean love isn't real and that it can be chopped down to a drug? No, I think that these molecules are more, it's more than that. It's more than the physical molecule we're seeing. What does the molecule allow you to access? It allows you to access information, but where the fuck is this information being stored at? Where's the information coming from? Yeah, like if you have a computer chip and you plug it and you have a memory card, right? You know that if you put something on that memory card, like, we as human beings understand that the memory is being stored in the graphene or the different elements that are inside of the memory card. But with a molecule, is the information being stored inside of the molecule, or what is the molecule, like, how does it store information? How does it remember things? I believe that these molecules just give us access to other higher realities, higher dimensions. And in these higher dimensions is where the information is stored. And when you take a certain molecule, it gives you a certain information from the higher dimension. Just like if you go to a website, you go to youtube.com, it takes you to a certain place inside of the internet. YouTube.com is not the entire internet. Because if you go to Facebook, or if you go to, I don't know, Wikipedia, or if you go to, like, these are different places inside of the internet. And I believe molecules are similar, where it's like molecules allow you to access different places inside of the universal internet, or humans have access to this thing and we just have been disconnected from this thing. And I guess that's the issue, is the the higher information of this reality is stored inside of the plants. We've been told the plants are drugs. We've been told that it's just a drug. It's not real, right? We've been told that real is our sober state of mind, but we forget that there's no such thing as sober. You are a drug. What you communicate, like, happiness is serotonin, energy is dopamine and norepinephrine, love is oxytocin. Like, you can chop your fucking emotions and feelings down to molecules being released in your brain. So there was no such thing as sober. These are bullshit terms that we have been taught to keep us controlled. What's really going on is so complex and so fucking insane that most humans wouldn't believe it if it was in front of them, because it's so unbelievable but so fucking real that it sometimes gives people anxiety, right? The truth can fucking scare your goddamn soul, and you'll be fucking freaking out, and you will have no idea why you're freaking out, because your soul knows the truth. Whether you want to believe it or not, it feels the truth. So it's like, that's what happened to me, I guess, when I started researching these molecules and diving deep with psychedelics and into the dimensions with DMT. And I started realizing that I was gaining information about quantum physics, about history, about the universe, and about the future of the fucking planet and the human race. And I was learning about things that I didn't understand how I was getting this information. How do I know about quantum mechanics? How do I know what I know? It blows my mind, and it's because I get downloaded with information from these molecules. Humans are computers. We forget that we are a computer. We are a quantum computer, because instead of using like metal, like different metals like gold and platinum and graphite and all this other shit that and copper and all this other shit that's inside of a computer. We are computers made of organic material, matter and atoms. Our brain uses electricity exactly the same way that fucking a computer does, right? It bounces electrical signals, it uses molecules similar to a computer uses folders and files and different like hard drives, and that's all these molecules are, is molecules are hard drives that attach to our mind that can teach you things. Some molecules can suck your mind dry, though. You know, I'm not going to get into it because my camera doesn't have enough space on it, but, molecules like alcohol, it doesn't, because it's not a plant, right? I believe that the plants are the keys to the universe. The plants have the history of the planet inside of them. Because the plants, a tree can live for thousands of years. And I believe that all, like, let's say a cannabis plant grown in America, I believe is also connected to a cannabis plant grown in India. I think they are connected on a higher aspect, in a different dimensional aspect than we are, right? People say plants aren't conscious, but that's because humans are ego. Plants lack ego because they don't walk around. They don't need to walk or talk or whatever their ego, right? Fucking take the plant at a high dose and it'll punch your ego in the face. That's how most plants speak to us, and most plants have a lot to teach us because they teach us to shut the fuck up and listen a lot of times, to pay attention, to be quiet, to be still, to be more calm. Like humans are so fucking hype. The reason why the cannabis plant is taking over the planet is because that's what the humans need. The humans have too long been an alcohol, tobacco based society. It's now time to get our minds back in our hands and choose what plants we have a relationship with, because that's the thing. We have no relationship with the planet. We just do molecules to help heal our cancer or help heal our diabetes or heal this or heal that. Fuck trying to heal something because we're just using the planet. Let's learn from the planet. Learn from the plants. They're not just molecules that can be used as medicine. They're consciousnesses that can teach us about reality. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.